and today we will be installing the PVWA. Today we will be installing the PVWA. Basically, for any component to install, there are three process steps. First of all, you would be doing the prerequisites, then you would be doing the installation, then finally we would be doing the hardening. So we are done with the prerequisites. We have seen that through that PowerShell script we can perform the prerequisites part. The only thing that we have seen that it has not validated a .NET framework. For that we had an error. So let's go ahead with the installation first, because if anything was missing, it won't let us go ahead with the next steps. So now today we would be installing the PVWA, and for any component to install, we need to have the 1858 connectivity. Let me just open up a notepad over here. As I have discussed in the first session, that all components would require TCP 1858 connectivity to Vault. So if we are installing PVWA now, from the PVWA to the Vault, we should have this port open. Okay. So there are two things through which you can check that. Either you can install private client before your any component. So private client requires the same port, that is 1858. So we will be installing the private client, and we will log into the private client. Just check if you are able to log in with the administrator username password into the Vault from here. So I'll quickly set up this, run as administrator. And the reason why, Vishal, you were not able to see that a Vault symbol on your private client, because you need to define that. Once you are through with the installation, you need to define that Vault as well. I will just give you I will just show you that how to define that. Define in the sense, like, it's just like you need to provide the details there itself.
Okay.
So you can see that you like to define your first private Vault now. So you need to click on OK. Now you need to specify the same thing, Vault production server IP is your Vault IP now, because it would be communicating to the Vault. So I will collect the IP address of my Vault. This is the IP address of my Vault, ending with 140. Okay, it
You are
won't
in.
let
Uh,
PVWA. I'm installing in the PVWA server.
okay, okay.
Okay, so I've given the Vault IP over here, 140, 140.140. This is my Vault IP. We are done. It will prompt us to reboot the server now. So now you can see there is a symbol for the private client appears here as well. And if I just open it up, we can see the vault production. So let's try logging it. If you're able to log in, that means we have a connectivity. We are able to log in, that means we have connectivity to the vault, and we are good to proceed with the installation as well. So this is a simple rule check, like whether the firewall rule from your any component to the to the vault is open or not. So now we have seen that, and I just need to go to password vault web access, and here we have the setup. Okay, so we are concerned about these three things: vault in installation automation for the prerequisites, setup for the installation, and hardening once everything is done. So we'll go ahead with the setup as of now and run as administrator, so that if any elevation is needed, we do not encounter any kind of permission issue. So now it might not work because we do not have the .NET framework validated as a part of prerequisites. So we need to manually install that package. It could be a possibility. It might stuck in between. So we would be doing it installed manually, and then we will go ahead further. Give me just 2 minutes. So now you can see that .NET framework is not installed here. This is the expected error as I was telling you. So we'll just cancel the installation. We'll put inside the .NET framework from our local system. Let me put up a package here for the .NET framework. So this is my .NET framework. So first and foremost, we need to have the compatible .NET framework version. That is 4.8 is expected here. So we will install this .NET framework over here. We'll let it completely installed. So it's may take time. So in the meantime, I can upload few more things. So we are done with the prerequisite. Which let's restart our box as well. So any missing feature will not let you complete any installation. So this is something good about CyberArk installation, that you will get to know the missing feature right away once you are in the process of installation. So now we have rebooted this PVWA server. Let's again try installing it. So I'll navigate to this folder, setup, right click, run as administrator. So this is something you just need to put yes and next. And company name is optional. You can put anything as per your choice. Then this is the destination folder wherein you would install the web application. Web application, like since it's a web-based server, so whatever the web-related thing, like the IS related thing, would be sitting in this path. See init pub www root password vault. I will explain you for the troubleshooting purpose that what logs you need to refer and what is the relevance of this path. So this can be under a D drive as well, because as I said, as the logs populated, you would be having lot of space consumed in the C drive, and since the operating system is also hosted on the C drive, so better to put in any other drive. You can do it like this. You can just browse it and replace the letter with D. So in that case, it will be sitting in the D drive instead of C drive. Then again, this thing, select the folder where the setup will install configuration and connection files for the web application. So this is again getting installed in C drive. So it should be pointed to D drive. So since we do not have any option in VMware, like I have only single drive here, so I am opting with the C only. Otherwise, as a good practice, you should always go ahead with the D drive. Now we are installing both the versions, the mobile version as well as the web version. So mobile version is something which you can open in the mobile. Let's say if somebody has to approve any request, somebody wants to see the password of something, so he need to seek an approval from someone. So he can raise a request, and the other fellow who is an approver can basically open the PVW in his mobile as well. So here we are getting both the versions installed. so that our PWA is accessible from both the ways. So now here we have this, application name which is called password vault. Okay. Then authentic. Somebody saying something. So the application name is password vault. So what is this application name refers to? Since the PVWA server is the IAS server in which we are installing this, PVWA. Let me just open up IAS here. As a part of prerequisites, we installed IAS roles. That means it becomes the web server in which we are installing this PVWA. So here you can see there is something called application pool. As of now, we do not have any web application running over here. But once we install the PVWA, you would see that a PVWA name appears here. So it is asking us to specify the name. We are specifying password vault. If you want to do anything like PVW or something, if you want to trim that name, you can do that. But ideally, it is not recommended. So better to go with the same name, password vault. And this is the authentication type. So once the PVW is installed, so you have installed the vault and you are able to log in with the administrator username and the password as CyberArk one. That means it was the native CyberArk authentication. Okay, it was the native application authentication method through which you were logging into the vault. Now, since in PWA, all sort of authentication methods would be supported, whether you can go with the LDAP, SSO, anything would be supported. But here we will select CyberArk as well as LDAP in the initial phase. Later on, you can enable all this, authentication method as well, like Oracle SSO, OAuth, whatever the authentication methods that you have in your organization, you can get them integrated with CyberArk, and you can leverage that particular authentication method to log into your CyberArk application. So we do not want to have any default authentication. As you can see, we do not want to make any default authentication. We'll mark it as none. For mobile also, we do not want any kind of default authentication. We want to make sure that whenever we launch the page of PVWA, there should be all sort of authentication methods appears for us. So let's say if my authentication level is through LDAP, I should be opt LDAP. If somebody wants to log in with Radius, he should be able to log in with Radius. If somebody wants to log in with the SSO, he should have an option with the SSO as well. So all sort of authentication methods should appear on the page once we open it. We'll click next. So shortly it will ask us about the IP address of our vault. Why it is asking the IP address? Because it will set up the safe for the PVWA, and it will also set up the users. So what are users actually? For every application there are users created. Users are nothing but they are kind of license, they are kind of license users. If you are installing PVWA, that will consume a license. And why it is consuming a license? Because the users are created for the PVWA. So there are two users created called the PVWA app user and PVWA gateway user. So that means, like, if you are having four license available with you, so you can create up to eight users, or you can install up to four PVWA. As long as you have license, you can create the users, and as long as you are able to create a users, that means that's your limitation of licensing. I will explain you once the complete installation is done, what is users and what is the environment. So now you can see that it's now asking us the vault IP, so that it can communicate to the vault to set up the environment, and it will also create the users. Like, for every component we have the users created. Like for vault we have operator user created. Okay, for PVW we will have PVW app user and the gateway user created. For CPM also we have a user created. User is nothing but a license consumption. So let me specify the vault IP here. So this is the IP of our vault. We have already validated the connectivity for the vault by installing this private client. This is going to be our URL for the private PVWA. Let me copy this as well. And the password of our administrator, which is CyberArk1. So now you can see that it's updating server environment. It has earlier checked the connectivity to the vault.
Can we edit PVWA URL? Uh,
Yeah, you can.
okay.
There's something called DNS entry. So definitely you would not be showing this IP address or the FQDN to anyone. So as of now, this is our PVW URL. It is reflecting the IP, sorry, the server name wherein you have installed the PVW. This should not be the case. So you would be replacing this value with the DNS value. So let's say if I have an organization called IBM for an example. So this particular value would be, I can replace this value with the new DNS value.
Okay.
So my server name will not be exposed to the end user. They would just be opening https ibm.pam/password vault. That's all it is.
Okay.
So we are finished here. So now I can open up my PVW here. I will go to Internet Explorer. So basically, Internet Explorer is not the supported browser. Always go for the with the Google Chrome. So it may take a while. And one more thing, the response of the PVW web page could be much slower as compared to some other server. So if I open up it in from other server, it would be very fast. But if I'm opening it from the same server in which I have installed it, it may take lot of time. And for the interest of time, let's install the private Google Chrome as well. Okay, internet is not available, so I just need to add one more, network adapter here, so we can get the internet available. Guys, once you install the VMware, you might encounter some issues, so feel free to let me know. I will help you to, set up this VMware setup on your machine. Let's add one more network adapter so as to facilitate the internet working. Now we have the internet, so it should be installed. Yeah. So now we have Google Chrome in place, and if I were to open the URL from here, I can open it. So this is the preferred browser for the PVWA, or I would say for CyberArk. You can see that response time is a bit slow, but if I open it from any other third server, it would be very prompt. Yeah. So as you can notice that these are the authentication methods that we have selected before, during the course of installation, the CyberArk and the LDAP. So since we have not integrated the Active Directory or LDAP, we will not be able to, use this way. We would only be able to log in with the administrator username and password. So administrator and CyberArk one. Okay, so now we have basically logged into this PVWA. You can see there are a lot of things which I'm not going to discuss today because I need to make sure that you are able to install till Vault first of all, and then you should be able to install the PVW as well. So I'll just set up the Vault for and I'll just show you guys in case you have moved up with your Vault installation. So don't worry, I have created the images for you, so you can launch a new image. So let's say for Sarvanan, this you 1 by 2 check passed is coming up. That means you will not be able to launch it any further. This is gone server. So in that case, first of all, you need to decommission this server. You need to terminate this instance. Okay. So now terminating in the sense that we are deleting the server, which is of no use. The next thing is we would be creating a new vault. So you will go to launch instances here and go to my AMIs. My AMIs are nothing but the images that I have created, or I should say, the clone ID, clone servers I have, created over here. For all the things, we have the clone server. So if by any chance, if you are goofed up with any component, you can create a clone server. Then I will select vault 12.0.new one. Next configure. We are setting up one instance here. So go with one. Add next again. Configure security group is nothing but the connectivity. So make sure that whenever you are whenever you are setting up a new server, you need to make sure that we have any firewall rules. That means we should have open connectivity for our server. So make it all traffic and anywhere from here, and launch, review and launch. Now since we are already having the password, so we will check this. Proceed without the key pair. We already know the password. Launch instance. That's all it is. Let's view the instance now. So if you scroll down till last, it will show up in pending state. Okay, you can put your name over here. Sarvanan Vault. So you can label with your name. And you can start working. So just wait for some time till it comes 2 by 2 checks, and you can start working. So one more guys thing, I have added AD as well. So you have your dedicated AD available. You can see that I have added AD AD followed by your name. So you can use this AD and also the PVWA as well. So you can try installing that PVWA. Before installing the PVWA, the 3, 4, 5, you can name it with your name. In case if I have missed to put your name over here, so you can claim any one of them. They are the free PVWAs. So what you can do, you first need to add the PVWA server in the domain. Then you need to install the PVWA. So once you are done with the Vault installation, get yourself added into the into the Active Directory server. The PVW server you need to add under the Active Directory, and then install the PVW. You should be able to launch this web URL just like I did it. So you should be able to do that. Definitely you will encounter issues. So we will, it would be good for understanding and learning. So we will troubleshoot that, and in that way you would be able to see the logs as well. You know what logs needs to be referred, what are the different configuration files. So in that way we will approach further topics. So any questions guys still here? Feel free to let me know.
What is the domain name? So we need to change
Domain
it
name
for
is CyberArk.
CyberArk. Okay.
Yeah. So you, once you open it up, these again, if I just open any of the Active Directory here, the default password is anyways a CyberArk. Let me just open it up. It may take time to start. It's initializing. Let's wait for some more time.
AD is not configured for our ID, right?
AD is configured. All you need to do is just add the PVW server in the AD.
Okay.
So as I told you that while adding the server in the Active Directory, if you remember that I have added the DNS, IP of my Active Directory in the DNS of the server. So let's say if you remember, this thing. Let's say this is my PVWA. Okay. So in the DNS of my PVWA, I have added the IP address of my Active Directory. This is the IP address of my Active Directory. So the same Active Directory IP address you would be putting in the PVWA DNS. It would be the private IP of your Active Directory you would be putting up here. So that it gets added in the AD. And same like in our case also, so in our case also, I have created a domain admin account called admin1. So in the AWS also you would see this admin1 as a domain admin account, and the password of it is CyberArk1. So you can see the member of domain admin user. So same in the case of AWS as well. If I were to launch this, So this is for an example in AD server. Yeah. So now here this is the AD server of AWS lab, and you can see the admin one account is there. This is the domain admin account through which you would be add your PVWA under the domain, and you would be using this IP, the private IP of your AD server, to be kept to be if you see here. So you would be putting the private IP of your AD server in the PVWA DNS, so that you can add this under the AD. So definitely you should be able to do so. In case if you are unable to do so, so let me know, we can do it. But try to do it. I mean, whatever the error, if you are unable to access the server, that is also fine. You are anyways able to recreate an image here, as I told you. But do try to do perform that thing.